Hi Chrerise, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Brad.
You're not nervous at all, eh?
I am so nervous, it's not funny.
That's right, there's no one out there, look.
Look, I've already called you Paul, so it's like...
It's okay, I've been called worse. But look, there's no one out here. There's no one behind the camera, so you're fine. No one's watching. Hey, tell us a bit about yourself. Like, who are you? What do you do?
Okay, I'm Chrerise.
Yep.
I am a mum of 4, so 4 adults, grandmother of 1 grandchild. I work in childcare. Type of industry I thought I'd never be in. So even though I ended up with 4 children, I was one of those mums that just thought, nah, childcare's not sending any of my children there. And I ended up...
So how'd you end up there then, if you didn't want to do that?
It was kind of a little bit thrown in, like someone needed, like back when I started, you didn't even need a certificate. So
Right.
you just needed a blue card and
Okay.
they needed someone to step in for outside school care. So I said,
Right.
okay.
Cool, and how long have you been doing that?
15 years now.
Wow. Yeah, look, you don't look old enough to be a grandma, a mum of 4, or have worked 15 years in childcare.
Yes, it's that's why I get all this drawn so you can't see it.
As I reckon, if you've done 15 years in childcare, you would have a lot more scars and wrinkles than what you have.
Yep, you do. It's all up here. It's all mental.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well, we're not here to talk about childcare.
No.
And that's a good thing because it's your weekend, so you want a day off that. We're here to talk about your tattoos.
Yes.
So tell us about the first tattoo that you ever got.
My first tattoo I ever got, I was 30. So I did for my 30th birthday. I would get 4 butterflies that were down my neck. Easy to hide, easy to put your hair up, and then you could see them. And I thought, well, you know, back then there still wasn't a lot of tattoos around then.
Yeah.
So I did that. That represented the 4 children.
Right. Okay.
And then it kind of then the addiction. You can't help it. You get addicted to the ink.
Yeah, I hear that. Hey, like
you can't help yourself.
That's a common theme running through this whole series. Is like, yeah, once you get one, you keep going.
You do. You can't stop. You really can't stop.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe I'll think harder about getting one then, because I'm not sure.
I think you should. I think you should. I've got a couple of good tattoos.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about that later. So you had the butterflies, and it's interesting that you said that you could cover it up. Was that for a work purpose or?
Just, you know, that's going back, now I'm going to show my age, that's going back 23 years.
Okay.
So back then, it still wasn't, you know, there still wasn't a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
You know, so just, you know, people, you know, so they wouldn't go, oh my God, you know, look at her, she's got tattoos. You know, I remember seeing on one of your other podcasts, or not even one of your YouTube things, saying about, you know, only a certain type of person got it. Yeah. So that was to be easily hidden.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting 8 more butterflies down my spine that represented all my nephew and nieces and that. So.
Okay. So family.
Yes, it's all my tattoos represent my family.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, because you know, like, as you said, you wanted to be able to hide them because you didn't want to be judged.
No, I didn't. I didn't want to be judged.
Because I'm sure there is still a generation of people. Probably lots of generations of people who see people with tattoos and judge them straight away.
Yep.
They're that kind of person. Whereas that's kind of the reason for this series is like, well, let's find out what kind of person has tattoos.
Yeah, because when I got that and I had this one done, I was actually working in the canteen as a canteen convener in a high school.
Okay.
And I remember having a child come up to me that would work in the canteen, and they asked me, "What are you doing on the weekend?" And I says, oh, nothing much. I must go home, I'll sleep, I'll hang out with the kids, I'll, you know, whatever. And they looked at me and they looked really disappointed. And I've gone, what were you expecting me to say? I said, are you looking at my piercings? Are you, you know, I said, do you think I was going out to party hard? Yeah. You know, I'm going to hit the drugs, do all that, drink heavy. And she just kind of did the little nod, and I've gone, you know, I just said to her, I says, well, explain this. I'm going to ask you a question now. I said to her, does your mum drink? You know, does she drink? Does she have tattoos? Does she have that? No, she doesn't have tattoos. Yes, she has her bottle of wine and everything like that. And back then I'd only just left the children's dad, and kind of came from a bit of a, your violent alcoholic household as a child.
Yeah.
Wasn't really into the alcohol or anything. And I just said to her, I says, well, what you see is not a representation inside your head. I said, because I don't actually do what your mum does.
Yeah. So
I just drink tea.
don't judge the book by the cover.
Yeah, hence the teapot on
Yeah,
there.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Tell me about this one, because you just mentioned that. This,
Yeah.
it's like a chain that's wrapped around your arm.
It is. So there's the heart. My children hold the lock and the key to my heart.
Wow, okay.
That's a piece of jewellery my mum gave me. And that's a piece of jewellery one of my sons gave me. It's got my children's names. And then I've written in your little book there, I think I've got a missing link. Oh, it's somewhere. I think it's...
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Yep.
And I never got it redone because my life's not perfect.
That's awesome. All right, cool.
My tattoos all have stories.
Tell me about the little Celtic symbol on your chest.
That one I got done just recently with a girl I worked with, and she got the same one. So she got one done here, I got one done here, and it's soul friends. So I think eventually I reckon I'll have multitudes of these tiny little symbols all over my body, because as my story and my life goes, I'm just going to collect people in my life, so I'm always going to have all these soul friends around me. So.
Nice. All right, let's work across to your left arm, this big sleeve piece.
Yeah, so it started off just this.
Yep.
With 2 roses and the symbol
Chrerise.
yeah, so that represents my grandparents.
Okay.
My pop always grew roses. Their last name was Sarah. They always sang K Sarah Sarah. So I had that for a very long time, and I got that when I was 40. And I remember it was one of my grandfather's birthdays as well, and because ours was like a month apart. And I said to him, he said, I don't want any birthday presents, don't give me any birthday presents. So I rocked up with this tattoo, and I says, here you go, this is my gift to you.
Wow, okay.
I've now put this on.
Cool.
on my body.
Yep.
So I was waiting for the whole, what'd you go and do that for?
Yeah.
But he didn't. He just said, oh, that's really lovely, considering he came from he was like old school European.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then you've run down your arm there with butterflies and some kind of florals.
Yeah, so because I got these all covered up, they're all covered up now.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting the 4 butterflies again, representing my children.
Yeah.
And then hidden all amongst this, this is like an eternal garden.
Right.
Are cocoons.
Right.
And the cocoons, the chrysalises are my babies.
Ah.
They're my grandchildren.
Okay.
So
no pressure on the kids.
No pressure. There is lots of pressure.
How many chrysalises have you got?
3.
So you're hoping for 3. You got 1.
Got 1.
Got to get another
I got
2.
1. So I got this done.
Yeah.
And then my daughter got married, and then just before she got married, we were doing like a little hens gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, Mum, we can't go where we're going. Do you understand why? Yes. Oh, I know why we're not going there. And so Juniper came.
Yeah,
and
okay.
hence why I've got.
The juniper.
Yeah, so that's why there's a lunar moth there.
Right, okay.
And with the juniper berries.
Wow.
Because her name's Juniper Moon.
Okay. So, literally your story and your family story is on your skin.
Yes.
Cool. You've got the little Celtic cross there on your wrist as well.
No, that's the Egyptian.
Egyptian? Okay.
So I love Egypt, hence why my 2 cats are called Isis and Cleopatra.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're voodoo dolls.
Yeah, they're my voodoo dolls. So, look, you can't see it.
Yeah. I didn't photograph those ones. But why voodoo dolls? That's interesting.
Oh, there is a dark side. There is a dark side to everybody.
Yep.
Everything people see is like my airy fairy.
Yeah.
Everything's all glittery and, and cutesy and pretty and that. But there is a dark side.
Yeah.
So I got those. Eventually I want to get voodoo dolls that represent all of us,
right,
all over this thigh.
Yeah.
And then this one, I've got my tattoo artist. She is getting ready to draw all this big one up. So this one's going to be really good. So I may have to come back and show you this piece.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say one word. Because I said to her, we are going to take our time with this. I said, because this is going to be like competition worthy
Okay.
with what we're doing here.
Okay. All right.
It's quite a dark piece. It's
Okay.
quite a deep and dark.
Nice. All right. I look forward to that.
Yes.
I'll get you in. We'll take some photos of that. Hey, you've got this massive butterfly on your back, and you talked about 4, then another 8 butterflies, so 12 butterflies. They're all covered up now, and you've got this massive butterfly, which I'll put a photo of that up so you don't have to turn around. But what's that one about?
That one was, I think it's a little bit of a metamorphosis. What started off was I went to a tattoo shop with a friend. She was getting something done, and I was speaking to a tattoo artist then, and I said, look, I want to get wings, but I don't want these angel wings. Everyone seems to have angel wings. And I says, I don't want angel wings. I says, I want fairy wings. And of course they represent like your butterfly and everything like that. I did want them to be all tattered and ripped because at that stage in my life, it was pretty gross.
Yeah,
so, you know, trying to leave the kid's dad. So it was quite traumatic and turmoil. And then she ended up convincing me not to go down that road.
Okay.
Don't go down that way.
Okay.
She kind of did say, I'm not going to tattoo that on your skin because that's my you know, that's also my art.
Yes, okay.
And she said, and it just won't look.
Okay.
It won't look good. I might have had it in my head how I wanted it, but she said she wouldn't have been able to do it that way. So it's all cutesy and pretty and
nice. Yeah, it is. It's a nice big piece on your back. Hey, you mentioned the teapot. It's because you're a teetotaler.
Yes. I do have little drinks.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
And that now.
No judgment here.
No, but still not I'm not a big drinker.
Okay.
So,
all right.
No. So hence why the teapot.
Yeah, it must be an older one because it's a bit milky.
It's very old.
Okay.
It's I got that around the same time I got one on here.
Yeah.
Around would have been just after.
Right, the cross. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been all those.
Okay.
Yeah. Hence why that one looks
a little bit milky.
That one's
fading a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
But it is who we are.
Yeah, well.
So I shouldn't be covering up all of them.
Yeah. Look, I really appreciate you sharing so much of your story, not just with me, but the millions of people that watch this. No, it won't be millions. Maybe if we're lucky, it'll be 100.
Yes.
But I ask this question of everyone. Like, I'm a complete clean skin. I've never contemplated having a tattoo until I started this project. You don't know me, so this will be interesting.
Okay.
What would you recommend that I should get for my first tattoo?
I think something that really represents who you are. It could be even just a really small camera. It could be, you know, that could be that way. I reckon all the places you go to, maybe have a map or, you know, something like that. You're into music because we seem to be like in a music place. So you're right into.
Yeah, I teach at this school, which is music focused. Yeah.
I've got a friend that got their whole lyrics of their favourite song tattooed right down their back.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Maybe you could go something like that, something extreme.
Okay. Yeah. Look, most people are saying something that means something to me. So that's interesting. That's been pretty much a common thread. Someone suggested that I should get their face tattooed on my right arse cheek.
Oh.
Yeah. I think
you've got to have that crappy butt tat, which I've yet still to do.
Okay.
But I want to get, believe it or not, a cherry symbol of an old scratch and sniff sticker that you would know because we're the same age.
Yeah.
Stuck right on my butt.
Yeah.
You know, with the word scratch and sniff.
A bit of humour. That's funny. That's good. Hey, Chrerise, thanks for coming in and chatting to me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing the photos when they're developed and continuing to connect with you and see where you go next with your tattoos. I'm intrigued by this right thigh, what you're going to do there.
I'll tell you what it is when we're off camera.
Okay.
So no one takes my idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, no worries.
It's a bit of a secret.
Okay. Thanks for that. Hey,